Welcome to Driven, the Unscripted Success podcast, with your hosts, Mike Menino and Nariman Hamden, bringing you insights and stories on achieving personal, professional, and financial success.
Hi, everybody. It's Michael Menino, and welcome to Driven, Unscripted Success podcast. Today on the podcast, we're interviewing professionals who share their experience with you, the audience, and how they got to where they're at today and where they're going. And we have Maya here from Miami. How you doing, young lady?
I'm doing great. How are you, Michael?
Better than I deserve. Maya has a new company called Vetted, and she's taking the power away from the. I'm gonna phrase this the way I'd like to do it, and then you can correct it. She's taking away the power of the vet, because we go to the vets too, because we also have a French bulldog. And every time there's a problem, they say, bring them on in, bring them on in. And you're giving the power to the owners. That is pretty cool. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how you got to where you're at in that?
Yeah, of course. So, hi everyone. I'm Maya Shaposhnik. I'm the mom of two amazing pets. One is my French bulldog that if you hear a little snorting, it might be him because he's sleeping under me. And I have an amazing Maine Coon named Kesef. So I got into the space because I, as a French bulldog mom, was going to the vet a lot. And a lot of times I was asking myself, like, do I really need to go? I'd go and I would expect, okay, like I already knew I was going to pay $300 to $500 for the appointment. So I was like, if I'm here, I'm going to ask all my questions. Sometimes I came with a notebook or took notes on my phone. And I tried to really understand, what can I do to prevent these cases? And so my expectation was that the vet would kind of answer all my questions and help me and guide me. But the way that vet care is set up is like they don't have more than 5 minutes with you because they have so many appointments at the same time. And so I wasn't getting what I needed from my traditional vet experience. And I decided that like the system's broken. Like if we keep just assuming that we have to go to the vet for every single thing, but there aren't enough vets, there are too many appointments, the appointments are too long. Like it's a system that doesn't work anymore. And it hasn't been changed actually since the late 1700s, the vet care system. So I decided that I was really going to focus on empowering the person that's actually taking care of the pet every single day, which is the pet parent, and to really just shift the power towards them and really just relieve the pressure that's also on the vet industry, which is really significant. So I saw it as really just a win-win scenario for both, like the pet parent, and the veterinarians.
Agreed. Oh, that's awesome. How do you do that? Now we're gonna get to the nuts and bolts. How do you help a pet? You know, I have a French bulldog. His name's Tank, and he's expensive to say the least. So how do you help out the parent? How do you help out the true caregiver?
Yeah, so we started a mobile app that's all about gamification and rewards. You can download it on App Store or Google Play. It's called Vetted Pet Health. And so the idea was, okay, how can we get pet parents to do more for their pets, right? Because that is our goal. Our goal is to really empower them. But we also don't want to feel like it's a to-do list, it's a burden, it's heavy. Like there's so much in life that we already have to do with our own lives, with our, human children, with our work, with our own health. So, initially we actually were more of like a healthcare checklist with education platform, but that was not engaging. Like people didn't want to do it. They felt overwhelmed. So we actually pivoted the model to be like really just pure gamification and rewards. So think about the things you're already doing for your pet. I like to call it, this is like internal verbiage. I don't really use it externally, but I'll share with you guys since we're on the podcast. I say like it's a gateway drug. Okay, like what's something that like you can get them in the door and maybe they'll experience more things after. Maybe that's a like extreme like example, but that's how I see it. Was something you're already doing every day, and that's dog walking. Every day you're walking your dog. If it's one time you're taking them on a walk and the rest they're in the yard or someone else is taking them, you're doing it every single day. And so the idea was, okay, let's create an app where you can track your dog walks. It tells you how many miles you do, how many calories you burn, how much time it is, etc. And then you get rewards for that. So you're walking your dog, maybe you're even pushing yourself to walk more times or longer time. Like it's really incentivizing you on the fitness side. And then you're starting to get all these care coins in the app, which is our token. And with those care coins, you're on a leaderboard. So now you're competing with other people about who's really the best pet parent out there. And the leaderboard is general, but you can also personalize it with your friends and family. So you can compete with your own friends and family, like in the app. And so through that idea of rewards and competition, people want to do more because now it's a game. Now it's fun and it's not a burden. And so then they look in the app to do more things. And so that's where we have like daily activities. So things you want to be doing on a daily basis that you don't need to do all of them. You can check the ones you're doing. Short form articles that teach you tips and tricks for your pet, long form content, video content, etc. And then everything that you do, we have a streak functionality, right? So if you're doing it consistently, you're winning these streaks, you're getting additional care coins, you're getting highlights in the app. And now when you have a bank full of care coins, what do you do with them? So that's where we have a marketplace with our B2B partners, and you can actually redeem your care coins and say, you know what, I've been such a good pet parent. Like I've been walking my dog more. I've been doing all these readings and exercises. I'm going to go to Starbucks and buy myself a free coffee. And you can actually redeem your care coins for a free coffee. Or you can say, pet food has been so expensive lately and like I need help with financially. So I'm actually going to redeem my care coins to lower my costs of pet care. So you're really, in charge of dealing with it, but it does give you that financial reward as well.
That is absolutely awesome. I love that. Love the concept. You're taking care of your dog, but you're getting rewards from your partner companies.
Exactly. And they want that. It's a win-win for all players, right? Because they want to be able to get new customers, they want to be able to grow. They also love the type of customer we have on the platform because it's somebody who's actively doing things for their pet. So it's a very specific type of customer. And it doesn't only need to be pet care. It can be Nike, it can be Hoka, right? Hoka can say, you know what? You've walked 200 miles with your dog the last 2, 3 months. We're going to give you $25 off in your next purchase if you walk 10 more miles this month. And now you have an incredible model where they're getting a new customer, you're getting a benefit of buying a great new shoe for yourself, and your dog is just getting those extra calories taken off.
Especially with the French bulldogs, they got a whole lot of quitting them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and they are so hard to walk. Trust me. I'm embarrassed of how long my dog walks are in the app because he just is so stubborn that he won't move. So it's like I show a path, but the amount of time it took is so long because he's just so slow and Miami's hot too, so it's harder for a Frenchie. But we do it. We do our walks no matter what.
That's awesome. I love it. If someone listens and wants to get better at what you're doing, what tips and tricks would you give them? What suggestions?
Yeah, so we just released the app 7 weeks ago in the American market.
Oh,
We were
great.
in the UK, yeah. So we were in the UK under a different brand called Doggies. There were about 50,000 users in the UK, and we saw like a lot of traction. We actually have a suite of tools in the app. It's called the Doctor Series, and our most used Doctor Siri tool is actually called Doctor Poop. So, yeah, exactly. I know it. I know you're gonna love
I'm
that.
sorry. I do love it.
Yeah, you can use the
Absolutely.
poop emoji. We always use the poop emoji now at Vetted. But basically, the idea is when you walk your dog, you're most of the time you're picking up their number two, and every pet parent knows what it looks like. Just like a mom knows what their baby's number two looks like, the same with a pet. And when it doesn't look right, when it looks different than normal, you always think to yourself, "Oh no, which way is this going? Like, is it just maybe one small upset stomach, or is this like a virus? Like, how bad is my week gonna look?" And so we actually came up with this idea called Dr. Poop, where you scan it on the app instead of saving it in your photos, which is disgusting. But anyways, you scan it in the app, and then when you scan it, Dr. Poop sifts through tens of thousands of images we collected with our veterinarian team, and it identifies things inside. So it will tell you whether you need to go to the vet or not, like whether spending the $300 to see your vet is a good idea or whether it's still okay, there's nothing to worry about, keep walking and keep taking pictures. We'll let you know if it takes a wrong turn at some point. And so we have all these doctor tools. And so in the UK, we used a lot of our doctor series like in our app. Now we brought it to the US. We've been doing it here for like since August 14th, we launched in the market. And it's been going really great. We've been seeing that people are like using the app. They love the habit building side of it. They're even walking more. Like if you read our reviews, you'll see what people are saying, how it's pushing them to do more things for their pet, but get that feeling of it not like feeling like a win-win situation. Um, and that being said, like our whole idea behind it is, okay, if we can get people to like be active and do these things, we can also customize the app more for the pet parent. So for example, for me and you that we have Frenchies, there are very specific things that you need to be careful about with a Frenchie. Right? Like we all know that they have like a spinal issue and a hip issue, and we need to be ahead of that. So there are corrective measures behaviorally you could do in the home so that they don't have an injury, which is now costing you 10 grand, right? At like, IVDD and all these other hip and joint issues they can have. And then there's weight management because of their hip and joint issues. So we're actually developing a Dr. Series tool called Dr. Weight, which basically you scan your pet, like you'll do a front picture, back, front, etc. And then it will tell you whether or not your pet has gained weight and what's their body score. So you can also be on top of it and say, you know what, like I need to walk them a little more. And we'll tell you in the app, hey, why don't you increase your walk by 5 minutes a day? You'll actually see that if you do that consistently, you can lose up to X amount of pounds. So like the ideal version of the app, and so we're building it, like we're not there exactly today, but what we're building is really personalization based on like your pet age, breed, lifestyle, where you live in the world, so that we can really give you like those education tips and tricks that are specific to you and your pet.
Nice. Very nice. Sounds like a well-rounded application.
We're working it. It's a startup. It's never like beautiful. Like it's always intense and you do things in the back end that you just want it to stick together. Like a few days ago, and I'm very open with people about how intense the startup life is. Like a few days ago, one of our back end developers was fixing something in the app. He submitted it and he ended up having a fever. I think he got some kind of virus or something. He was offline for 24 hours, and in those 24 hours something he submit like it created a bug and all the app was down. And
Really?
this guy, poor guy, never took a day off, never. Gets a fever, is offline his first day. The entire app crashes. We're getting millions of messages, Instagram, TikTok, from support, email, etc. Please, please, I already started building a habit with my dog. I'm scared that I'm going to lose my care coins. The app won't open. And we're trying to get a hold of this guy, but we can't because poor guy is out cold. Like he had a virus. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, come on. Like, finally, when we have users and they love it and they're building habits, the whole app crashes because maybe one period, like a mistake that he made with adding a period where he shouldn't have added a period. And now the app doesn't work for 12 hours. But thank God we got it to work and we reached out to all the customers and we told them nothing's happening to your care coins. We promise you everything's protected. But obviously, like it's the life of the startup. Like we lost a day and I had to explain to my investors and my board like what happened and how now we need a protocol if this happens again. But that's the life of a startup. Like you just have these, you know, curveballs constantly and you just kind of maneuver through them.
I know the feeling. So I was going to ask you what was one of the biggest challenges you had to overcome, but you just explained it.
Oh, that was a tiny challenge.
That
It,
was the one. Okay, well, give me the bigger one now.
oh, the bigger one. Wow. Well, okay, so the mission of Edit has always been the same, but we did have a major pivot in the last year. We actually owned mini veterinary clinics inside of dog daycares. So we basically, like our model for about 3 years was that we basically would go to a dog daycare boarding grooming center. We would convert a space in the lobby area
Right.
into a one-room doctor office, and we would do all of your healthcare and then sell you on a digital membership for the rest of the year that would empower you from home. So it was like full service, right? Digital and physical. And the model was really beautiful. The vets absolutely loved it. We had so many vets that worked for us and never wanted to leave. but we couldn't scale the business. Like we had 6 locations, and because the model is a mini clinic, you don't make a lot of money, right? And like you need to be able to expand and have hundreds of them for the numbers to make sense. And so we were trying and trying and trying to find partners, but because the daycare model is not consolidated, we couldn't find like a partner that we could really scale with. And so we basically had to shut down all of our clinics and let go of all our staff. And not because, yeah, exactly. That was the
So
worst.
that is the bigger one.
That's the worst one
I
because they
gotcha.
were exceptional. They were amazing, amazing people, and they didn't do anything wrong. It was just like that the business model wasn't going to survive as a standalone business. So we had to make the really difficult decision. And then I had a lot of pressure to figure out what do we pivot to. And that's when we ended up moving to the mobile app system. We actually bought the company in the UK, Doggies, that had the 50,000 users. We bought all of their technical assets. We brought the founders onto our board. We brought their star product people into our team. And then we transitioned all of the education and content we had in our app into the dog walking and the doctor poop and all the other doctor tools that they had. We merged them together and built like the vetted app in the United States and launched it in August.
And that's fantastic. It was a great idea.
Thank you.
Buying the company helps out everybody, the company that you bought, and bringing your ideas to the UK and here. So
Exactly.
now
This,
you're opening globally. That's awesome.
yeah, and this is the market, like the US market is the market. Like
It
just
is. It is. It is one of the biggest markets, the best markets in the world, actually.
yeah, it's by far. I think like I did some research that the US global, like the US pet market compared to the global pet market is 60-70% of the market. Like it's that
Our,
significant.
our market is bigger. I want everybody to hear this. Our market is bigger than all other markets.
Oh, by far. Like it's not comparable even. And I'm talking about spend. I'm not talking about how many pets there are. I'm talking about spend, right? So when you look at how much the market size is, you cannot compare, right? Obviously in India, they have a huge pet market, but the spend there is so, so minimal that you're, even if you take a piece of the market share, it's not as significant, not even close to as significant as a fraction of the US market. So there's no question that this is the best market to be in and that people here really care for their pets. They're invested in them. They want them to live a long, healthy life beside them. So for me, it was a no-brainer to bring it to the US and say, let's create our own category in this country.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, do you have any? Have there been any books or podcasts that's changed your outlook on business or life?
It's a great question. Yes. Um, I might butcher the name, but I just read a book a few months ago. It was called The Hard Things About Hard Things, I believe. And it's basically a book about being a founder and how brutal it is. Every chapter is just the brutal, 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 brutal like that. But
And a little bit of the success. Brutal, 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 little bit of success. Brutal, 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 little bit
yeah,
of success.
as a founder, you almost never feel you succeed. That's the
Yeah.
problem, right? Like you're always just trying to be 10 steps ahead and think what could come at you. And so you try to, create a scenario that you're protecting the company in any way. But was also part of the book. Like enjoying the success you actually make when you're working so hard and you're getting curveballs. Like I call being a founder like not like playing whack-a-mole 24/7. Just whack-a-mole, whack-a-mole. Like constantly hitting every single thing at the same time and just like, but still having to be on a treadmill and run forward while you're playing whack-a-mole. That's basically what's happening. But this book, I loved it because I feel that it really encapsulated so many parts of being a founder and an entrepreneur that people don't speak about. Like, I feel it's very easy to speak about the success, right? Everybody wants to hear from very successful people and hear how they killed it and all this stuff. But the failures are what make a company. Like, because when you fail, you have to make a turn. You need to turn in some direction. You have no choice. you're put in a corner and you make a decision. Now, sometimes the decision is wrong. For example, for us with the pivot from clinics into digital, like I had choices, but I made the best choice I could for the company. I thought about what would be the best case scenario and I did it. And I feel like this book really focuses on those hurdles and making really hard decisions and making them faster so that you kind of harness the insanity of being a founder and the kind of feeling of sometimes you're in a tornado and you need to like get out of it. And so instead of being in the tornado for a long time, even if it's a really difficult decision, you pull the plug. You just do it and you move forward. And the author of the book, I believe, is Ben Horowitz. Was it Ben Horowitz? But he's the founder of Andreessen Horowitz, like the VC firm. So I really like that book and I would recommend it to a lot of founders. I think they'll get a lot of peace that they're not alone in the crazy world that we live in. And there's a lot of success after failure. You just need to harness the failure faster.
Harness the failure faster. I love that one. That might be the name of the podcast. Hey, sounds like things are going pretty well for you financially. As looking for the future, have you ever created income without having so much work to do, so much hands-on stuff?
It's a great question. No, that the truth is no. I would love to. Like my husband is more in that category, like thinking about, okay, like investing in real estate, like having more passive income, etc. Um, I think I really enjoy the grind. Like I love it. That's the problem. That I love the
That's a problem. I know the problem. I have the same problem.
Exactly. I always call it the grind. Like people ask me
It's a
about
good
it.
call.
Yeah, I just say it's the grind. But um as hard as it is and as exhausting as it is and all that, like I still choose it again and again and again. So I know that it's just who I am and
Mhm.
that this is part of like what makes my DNA, right? So um I'm obviously from a financial perspective, it's great to think about like something that can bring you an income and you don't have to like invest so much in it. But I don't think that that's my
Not
passion.
your gift.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So wrapping up the interview, wondering what exciting plans you got for the next 6 to 12 months.
It's a great question. So, right now we're fundraising for the next phase of our company. So that's what's on my mind as a founder now is just fundraising, fundraising, fundraising. Because as great of an idea as it is, like if you're not profitable yet, you have to fundraise. And so that's what I do. Like 85% of my day is fundraising meetings. So and it will be for the next 6 or 12 months because we're actually doing a back-to-back round. So I know that my next 12 months is going to be fundraising, period. And
Nice.
yeah, so just thinking about also how I don't burn out, right? Because you're pitching all the time. So thinking about, okay, like I need to pace myself. This is not a sprint, it's a marathon for me right now. So that's like more on the business side from the management side. From the product side, we're rolling out a lot of different features in the app. So we'll be bringing in a lot of B2B partners. Strategic partners that want to be on the app and want to get these types of customers, they'll be joining the app and being on our marketplace. We're going to roll out some more doctor tools. We're looking to roll out doctor teeth soon in the app, so we're really
There you
excited
go.
about that. Yeah, that you could scan your dog's teeth and it will tell you if they see a fracture, a crack, a periodontal disease, and more. Um, and then there's like the community aspect of it. So, like, really helping you build a community, streaks, badges, shout outs in the app. So, really, really harnessing like the pet parent and their world, but also like the vetted world that they've now become a part of. So, that's what we're working on.
Beautiful, beautiful. So if people want to get in touch with you, how would they do that, Maya?
Yeah, so they can definitely reach out via LinkedIn. I answer everyone's messages. It might take me a week plus or minus to respond, so just keep that in mind. And then you can also, like, if you want to try out the vetted app, you can download the app on the iPhone, on the iOS, or you can do it through Google Play as well. And there's a support there. I actually see all the messages that come through the support, so feel free to give us feedback. We love feedback.
Awesome. Well, listen, everybody, thanks a lot. Thank you, Maya, for sharing your experience with the startup. Those are tough. And I absolutely do love your fortitude, just pushing through and pushing through and pushing through. A lot of people give up on that. It does. I don't think you have quit in you.
Thank you. I don't know that word, so thank you.
Don't know that word. Nice. All right. For everybody else, thanks for listening, and please like and subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate it, and please share your experiences with other people. This is really awesome of an interview. Thank you very much, Maya. I appreciate you.
My pleasure. Nice to meet you, Michael.
Thanks for listening to Driven, the Unscripted Success Podcast. Want to share your story? Apply to be a guest at drivensuccesspodcast.com/guest.